This week, the FBI arrested another former San Francisco official, Rodrigo Santos, an ally of top San Francisco Democrats, including former mayors Willie Brown, Gavin Newsom, and Ed Lee, stole $420,000 from his clients. Santos faces up to 30 years in prison and a $1 million fine. Rodrigo Santos, the co-owner and founder of a structural engineering firm, was charged in a complaint filed Monday. He no longer serves on the Building Inspection Commission, but had been appointed to serve on that panel in 2000 by then-Mayor, Democrat, Willie Brown, and was reappointed by then-Mayor, another Democrat, Gavin Newsom, in 2004. Now, Governor Gavin Newsom has, of course, been a critic of President Trump. He recently formally endorsed Joe Biden for president. There's also a recent conflict between Gavin Newsom and the Trump campaign over mail-in voting. Joe Biden praised Gavin Newsom's mail-in voting order, while President Trump's team responded much differently by harshly criticizing Newsom's mail-in voting plan, saying, quote, "This is a thinly veiled political tactic by Governor Newsom to undermine election security." A Trump campaign spokesman added, quote, "There's a vast difference between people voting absentee by mail because they can't be at the polls on election day versus mailing everyone a ballot. Sending everyone a ballot, even those who didn't request one, is a wide open opportunity for fraud." On Twitter today, Donald Trump Jr. highlighted a similar problem in Nevada. "This is how the Democrats plan to win, by cheating," Donald Trump Jr. said in a tweet. Linking to this article, Nevada's vote by mail primary stirs fraud concerns as unclaimed ballots pile up. Something stinks here. So interesting that this just arrested official has close political ties to Newsom, and other San Francisco officials have recently been arrested as well. Some may have seen this other case a few months back. The FBI also arrested the former head of San Francisco Public Works, Mohamed Nuru, who had been embraced by former mayors, including Gavin Newsom. A former Democrat Party strategist who worked as Newsom's spokesman when he was mayor called Mohamed Nuru Mr. Clean before he was arrested by the FBI on suspicion of public corruption. Nuru is accused of corruption, bribery, kickbacks, and side deals. He faces up to 20 years in prison. Meanwhile, current San Francisco Mayor London Breed also has ties to Nuru. Like Newsom, Breed has been a huge opponent of President Trump, at one point ordering people not to listen to the president. Turns out that Mayor London Breed recently had to admit that she accepted a $5,600 gift from Nuru before his arrest. The co-defendant in that case, who was charged with Nuru back in January, just agreed this week to plead guilty to fraud charges and is cooperating with the ongoing investigation into Nuru. While the city's Department of Building Inspection head was just suspended following allegations of wrongdoing, stretching back to 2011 that were uncovered during the city attorney probe of Mohamed Nuru. We recently learned that the FBI appeared to have been tapping phones around City Hall and otherwise surveilling the activities of Nuru and possibly others in the months leading up to January's unsealed complaint. The Fed's details of phone conversations and emails suggested broad knowledge of Nuru's activities, which included accepting a trip to China from the developer of the 555 Fulton project. FBI agents had visited the Department of Building Inspection on February 5th after computer files regarding the 555 Fulton project disappeared off the department's computer system for about a week and then mysteriously reappeared. So multiple San Francisco officials have recently been taken down over corruption scandals. Moving on to look at more on this week's arrest of Rodrigo Santos. NBC article explains more following the arrest of Rodrigo Santos, the former president of the board overseeing the San Francisco Department of Building Inspection. He was arrested Tuesday on federal bank fraud charges. Those charges stem from allegations that he pocketed nearly $500,000 in client money earmarked to pay city building fees. Rodrigo Santos, appointed by Mayor Willie Brown in 2000 and reappointed by Gavin Newsom in 2004. Federal officials allege that between 2016 and 2019, Santos deposited 261 checks worth $478,000 into his personal account. The checks came from clients of his structural engineering firm, and prosecutors say the funds were meant to pay city planning and building fees. Prosecutors claim in one case, Santos instructed owners of a residential project to write a blank check to the Department of Building Inspection and then endorsed it himself. The feds further allege that when confronted with these allegations, Santos submitted forged invoices to the FBI. Article from 48hills.org explains more about Rodrigo's political ties. Santos, a licensed engineer, also participated in a series of scams to allow illegal and possibly dangerous construction work on 9 different properties in the city. They note that the schemes were so bold that it's amazing they have only recently come to light. Among other things, the complaint alleges that Santos asked clients to write checks to DBI, the Department of Building Inspection. He's then accused of altering these checks made out to DBI, the Department of Building Inspection, to instead read Rodrigo Santos, or RODBIGO Santos. At numerous construction sites, the city attorney charges Santos and his partner helped contractors take out permits for very minor jobs, which covered up major excavation projects. And another possible tie-in with some of these other corruption cases in San Francisco we just referenced, they note here that given the fact that the director of the Department of Building Inspections, who presumably would have known or should have known about this wide-ranging permit scam, has now himself been suspended, it's increasingly unlikely that other top officials were unaware that anything improper was going on with Public Works and the Department of Building Inspections all these years. The Santos connections run deep. According to San Francisco Ethics Commission filings, he and his firm donated $20,000 a decade ago to Progress for All, a committee set up to push Ed Lee to run for mayor. In 2011, Lee appointed Santos to the Community College Board. Santos then spent tens of thousands of dollars of his own money to keep that seat and lost. He also gave $6,500 to Parent PAC, which has been supporting downtown candidates, and gave $4,000 to the Mission Moratorium in 2015. Santos also contributed to other local officials like Gavin Newsom. This second article on Santos concludes saying, and somehow nobody at City Hall over all these years noticed that he was allegedly running a massive scam at the Department of Building Inspections. There are only 2 possibilities here. Either the current mayor and the past 3 mayors knew what was going on and looked the other way, or there were very serious management problems, including an unwillingness to stand up to a climate of corruption in all of their administrations. In a March press statement, City Attorney Dennis Herrera said, quote, "San Francisco and California have building codes for a reason. They keep people safe. These defendants endangered both their workers and unsuspecting San Franciscans." Herrera then added, the fact that Mr. Santos is the former head of the commission that oversees building safety makes it all the more disgusting. He tried to use that knowledge to cheat the permitting system. But we caught him. Justice is coming. Finally, they reiterate that the Santos case has no immediately clear links to that of former San Francisco Public Works Director Mohamed Nuru, who allegedly planned to bribe an airport commissioner and was charged in February with lying to the FBI, but both investigations have parallels. The city attorney's office has also investigated the Department of Building Inspection recently in connection to Nuru, and city officials have alleged the department is rife with corruption. Please leave a comment and tell me what you think about any of these recent updates. If you could give this video a thumbs up, click the like button, that's greatly appreciated. And another reminder, you can also find me on Twitter for more updates. @RealityReader is my name over on Twitter. A huge thank you again everybody who has been supporting the channel over at Patreon or PayPal. Even a few dollars makes a huge difference, helps me keep talking about these issues. Patreon.com/realityreader or paypal.me/realityreader. Both of those links are down in the video description where you can support this channel directly. I will follow up soon. Thanks again.